There's one thing I like to point out. People like numbers. I was researching the issue of the UAE in Africa. Apparently, the UAE has 97 billion in investment in 2024, 3 times the size of the Chinese investment in the same year.
In
And
Africa or
in
around the world?
Africa, yes,
Okay, so
in
you've
Africa,
answered the
in
question already.
20 countries in Africa,
You've answered
27
the question already.
billion US dollars.
Let me add just one
That
thing.
is mind-boggling. You were saying?
Here's the danger. Countries have more constraints than corporations. So while we keep referring to UAE, that's not a country, that's a corporation. A corporation, they designate who are the officials, the CEO, the board of directors, the chair. That is a corporation. A corporation has no constraints. And it's like having
They're acting accordingly, yeah?
Absolutely. Having Exxon. Okay, Exxon, do whatever you want in Nigeria with no constraints. Plus,
Sure.
we have the advantage over Exxon because they're recognized as a country.
So, one final question on this story. Even in the next story we're going into, there's two key things. There's a key common denominator with those two countries, i.e., let's go to the country. You will see what I'm about to say. So,
by the way, brother Adesoji, you have a very important question in the chat.
Okay. Would
people want
see to it.
to know where your glasses came from.
Politics.
Don't tell me it's from the UAE. Otherwise, I'll just tune out of it.
Okay, so the next story comes from France 24, and it's titled "Jihadist Fuel Blockade Squeezes Mali's Military Leaders." The lead reads, Mali military rulers have been grappling with a weeks-long blockade on fuel imports imposed by al-Qaeda-linked militants. The blockade has plunged the landlocked West African nation into power shortages and deepened the strain on its ruling junta. The landlocked West African nation of Mali is being squeezed by a weeks-long blockade on fuel import imposed by jihadi militants as the insurgent threat grows across the region. The blockade has been a major setback for the Mali military junta in a country that relies on fuel imports from neighboring Senegal and Côte d'Ivoire. Now, this is the part that stands out. Meanwhile, 2 UAE citizens kidnapped by JNIM were released on October 31st. There's a lot of contradictory information about this liberation, said Nasser. At the end of the day, we got to know that it was through merchants and traffickers in Mali that the deal was done, and we know that a bounty of $50 million was paid, and that 20 tons of ammunition will be provided in exchange for the hostages. Can you begin to see the role of the UAE with regards to the African space? When you're giving 50 million, I would love to know who those 2 hostages were.
And why
for them
should
to have
why should we believe it's 50
been
million?
valued at 50 million.
Why should we believe it's 50 million? They're doing exactly
what it could be less than that, it could be more than that.
It's more than that, because you need a lot more to do what they're doing in Sudan, and they're going to replicate that model in Mali. So this is what interpretation comes into play. We are translating this article that you just read to our listeners. It's obvious that they plan to duplicate what they're doing in Sudan. And Mali, it's not by coincidence, has a lot of gold. So it's very clear what they're doing. This so-called hostage, I don't buy that at all. That sounds like a convenient narrative to start sending. You send 20 tons of weapons for 2 hostages. What kind of nonsense is that? Think about that. I think the most important thing is that it's very similar to what they're doing in Sudan. That to me is the takeaway from this, what you just read to us.